Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Let me make sure my mic is good. My mic sounds nice. Yo, yo, yo. All right, cool, cool. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy G, the bearded one half of Geek Salad. My brother Arye is currently right now having some time with the family, so I'm going to hold down the fort today. However, I just wanted to take a moment to just talk about one of the best TV shows out right now on Amazon Prime, and I think period. I'm talking about Invincible. Now, we just had a show earlier with by French. I'm sorry, by Martian. Go check her out on Instagram and all your other social media websites. She's very dope. But we had a short conversation about hero fatigue, and it kind of feels that way with the MCU right now. However, Invincible is doing a really, really dope job of keeping this superhero thing alive. All right. So, this today's episode is really going to be more about just doing a recap over the first three episodes. What of our predictions for episode four? And sadly, we won't see any more episodes for the rest of this year. Yes, folks, they're canceled. I'm playing. Nah, but they'll be back next year. There's no set time just yet, but we're going to see how episode four may set up the next four episodes coming in supposedly early next year. However, let's get into it. Again, this is the Invincible catch up. We're doing a recap of episodes one, two, and three. What we like, what we don't like. If you have any questions or comments, hey, reach out to me. Love to talk about it. I would deem myself the Invincible uh, uh, expert. I read the comic books. I have the omnibus, so I have read every single issue multiple times. So I am well versed in the lore, which is Mark, Grayson, and family. All right, but let's get into it. So again, I want to say thank you to comicbook.com for making this obsessional recap on their website. If you haven't seen it, check it out. They did a really good job of just pinpointing each main topic from each episode. Let me get that up for y'all because they did again such a great job of this right here. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to go to episode one of season two. Here we go. All right, boom. So let me see if I can make this just a little bit bigger for y'all. All right, sorry for the hassle, y'all, but there we go. All right, so of course, this episode picks up right after the events of the 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 horrible beatdown that Mark got from his pops, man. I mean, he put them paws all over him, right? To the point where he's questioning God right now. You know what I mean? But this episode opens up to, a little trick. Supposedly Mark has turned evil with his pops. Everybody was thinking like, oh, is he back? Is he back? How can this be, right? But it's actually a multiverse. And a lot of people are mad about, well, not mad, but they're like questioning, like, oh, here goes another story about the multiverse, right? But I'm telling you, folks, the way that this is used in this show, which came from the actual comic books, it's perfect. And you'll see why. Because Angstrom Levy, who is the master right now of the multiverses, is going to pull some things from the other side. And let me tell y'all, it is amazing what what is going to happen next. I'm using my knowledge and prediction what would happen, but I think it's going to stay, right around the same beats and tones from the comic book. But again, that was the first hint of the show. We're seeing Mark, disabling Eve in a truly horrific way. He's almost treating her like a pet. Like, I love her, I don't want to kill her, but I can visit her on the weekends. Like that. That's it hits. It hit different. You know what I'm saying? But then Ancient Levy goes into a different, universe or dimension, and now we're back in the main Invincible universe. Mark Grayson, he's trying to find himself. He's trying to prove to people that he's not his father. Doing different crime stops and all this other good stuff, whatever, right? But yeah, and he's questioning himself. What type of hero do I want to be? People see me as this horrible thing. I kind of wish that they really built upon like his trauma, him being the fault of so many people dying, like really get you a good gut punch about that, because the man was used as a meat grinder to level cities and trains, and he's trying to save people, but he just can't do it because his jackass pops was his wild wilding. You know what I'm saying? But hey, here or there, that's what he's doing. And then on top of that, his mother is really just in her shit right now because of the man of her life. Well, the man that the love of her life turns out to be a extreme murdering bastard, all for the pride of Viltrum. You know what I'm saying? So that's again, that's a whole different level of betrayal, I should say. Of course, we got the brothers again. I love them so much, man. The what's the names again? The Mauler twins, right? Such dope characters for the show. Extremely smart, but they're always getting betrayed or backstabbed. They help out Angstrom Levy build this machine because Angstrom is a new character to where he's able to pick and choose people from his different dimensions, and he wants to obtain the knowledge of all of them so he can make this world better and everybody else's, right? And they did a good job of explaining why he has to build this machine to get everybody's knowledge in his head instead of just writing it down. Pretty smart, pretty smart. I like how they explain it, like, it's something to the effect of, it's because he has this power, he can retain it more efficiently. So that was pretty dope. Then Mark is on his way graduating from high school. He's talking with Adam and Eve about what has happened and how is he trying to get better. And she's there as a friend, and of course, man, like, look at him, like, we know that this is going somewhere, right? I can't be the only one, right? We both know that Amber and Mark's not going to stay together for long, and these two are going to be it. But no, here or there, right now, they're best of friends. Well, good friends, right? Cecil. I love Cecil. He is this universe's Nick Fury, but he has actual sense. He's no holds bar, and he's basically sunning the Guardians because their reaction time is not quick enough to save people. They're causing more collateral damage when they're finding these villains. And Robot, or Rudy, who is now the leader of this team, he's no longer controlling robots to do his bidding. He's actually in like the suit himself, and he's experiencing fear for the first time. Whereas before he used to hide in a tube and let these automations do their thing. So he gets fired or he gets demoted from his position, and in comes the Immortal. Immortal has been around for thousands of years. He has experience, so now he is the new de facto leader of the group, and he's trying to whip them up in shape. So that's the gist of the Guardians and how they can try to upcome from that. Last bit of the show, Angstrom is starting to cook up his machine to get all these minds into his head. And oh, before I go there, so Mark reaches out to Cecil about a job. Like, yo, I want to work. I want to show people I'm not my father. Cecil was saying, like, youngin, you ain't ready. Grieve, man. Grieve first. What you went through, what your moms went through. Bam. Just be a kid, be a teen, grieve. But he feels guilty. Like, I'd rather be doing something than nothing. I need to get back to work. I need to prove to myself that I'm not my father. So Caesar is now going to be the one to direct him to these different causes and how to save people quicker, faster, whatever the case may be. So that kind of leads to when the Mahler twins finish this machine that's going to house like 3 or 4 Engstrom Libbies, and like each column is like hundreds of them in this machine. And it's emitting so much power that Cecil and them is able to find it. Like, yo, Mark, take care of that. You're the hero. Go. Do your thing, right? He gets there, and Angstrom, allows more Mahler twins from different dimensions to help beat up Invincible. Not kill him, remind y'all, not kill him, but just make sure that he stays away from what's going on so this machine can finish, right? But the Mahler twins or siblings, take it a step further, and they is kicking Mark's ass. Excuse me, kicking his ass, and to the point where Angstrom, who is at like the core of this machine, he's like, yo, don't kill him, just keep him away. They're not listening. He's like, yo, I will not have blood stain my new utopia. And he starts to remove himself from this helmet cerebral machine, and it starts to go haywire. The power is malfunctioning, and damn, shit just blows up. Just pow. The Mahler twins dead. The other Angstrom Levies dead. Mark, he's good. He's good, right? And then, he flies, Cecil and his team comes by, and everybody's saying like, yo, it's a kid, it's all right. They're bad guys. They're dead. Job done. Go home, take a shower. And he's off. Done deal, right? Done deal. So time goes along, and, we see Amber and Mark, they're back together again. And I know a lot of people hated Amber's personality from the first season. Now, I want to be honest with y'all. Is it really her that we hated, or was it the way that she was written, right? I think it was more about the writing of Amber, and how, she was so mad at Mark for being a hero and not telling her sooner, why he was always gone, and making her, feel like she's crazy for the last couple of weeks that they've been, it's teenage shit. It's teenage petty shit that people don't care about, etc. All right. But in this season, they, smooching, she's more understanding about what he's going through, and she better, because dude don't save your life. He don't save people of Earth. He show people. He's trying to protect everybody. So, give my man some grace. All right. Give him some grace. But, show ends, mid credits come back, or end credits, and we see somebody emerges from the rubble. And it's one of the Mahler twins, and half of his face and body is like charred up. You know what I'm saying? He can't find his brother, but he does find Angstrom Levy. And let me tell y'all, this man's entire back. Imagine your brain, right? But your brain has turned into a tumor. And the tumor is so big that it is eroding from the top of your head all the way back to your back, to where it's like your back is swole, but it's not muscles, it's just your brain. And it's like the minds of all the other levies in his head right now. And it's so mashed up that he thinks that Mark was the one that caused this explosion and for him looking this way. But when really it was him that caused this devastation. All this devastation, all this bloodshed, all of his people's dead. And I think that because so many of his other versions of himself were trying to protect the world from other invincibles that have turned bad, they all blame Mark. So now he's on a quest of revenge to take down Mark. And that's it. That's episode one in a nutshell. You know, good start, good finish. We have a new villain to look out for. And he's sprinkled here and there, but the way that he turns out, yo, what this man can do, y'all gotta see for yourselves. All right. Y'all gotta see for yourselves. All right, but that was the first episode, season one. I'm sorry, season two, episode one recap. All right. Now let's go to recap number two for episode two. Let's stop the screen right there. But yeah, again, if you have any comments or if you want to talk about it, let me know. Hey man, this is all fun. I can't wait to review the fourth episode again coming out this Friday. Or lately it's been coming on. It's like every Thursday football game that I watch on Amazon Prime. They always show they always show a commercial between halves or during timeouts. And they always say that like, yo, Invincible is out right now. And immediately I stopped watching the game so I can watch my Invincible and come back to the game. It's just, hey man, I'd rather watch it. All right. I'd rather watch that. All right. So here we go. Episode two, y'all. So episode two opens up with Dr. Seismic. Yes, he is back again, causing all types of bullshit. He's trying to take down the DC monument. And remember in the first season, he fell down a hole with the magma loids or whatever the mole people are, the magnemites, whatever they call them. And he survived it. Somehow now he has them under his rule, whatever the case may be. All right. So we started, get some more action between these two. And, it's a pretty decent scene too. A pretty dope scene, pretty dope action scene that happened between these people. And of course he wins the day. All right. Beats his ass. But he was kind of mad because he's causing some damage to the monuments in DC, right? But because he's fighting this dude, he damn near misses his graduation from high school, from original high school. Everybody's favorite dad from Family Matters is giving a speech, and he's having the kids come on the stage, and Mark, barely shows up to receive his diploma. And at that point, his friends is there. Mark, Amber, I'm sorry, well, Mark, Amber, Eve, and I forgot the other kid's name. But they're all there, like, yo, I can't believe he's gonna miss his graduation day, but he doesn't. So he makes it. Boom, he's great. All right. What happens to us in the show? Let me see. And remember, remember also in the first season, the astronaut that got left behind on Mars, but then there was there was an actual Martian that took his place, Russ, and now he's back at NASA, and he's always in fear of his life. He doesn't quite yet know how to adapt to human society. So he's, acting weird and bugging out, and because of that, he gets put on leave of absence, and he's looking at the TV in his crib, and he sees the Guardians, and now he wants to be a hero. Like an alien at a place, fish out of water, want to assimilate, and rather, because he's able to, camouflage himself or disguise himself and stretch like the first guy from the first season. He wants to be a part of the Guardians. All right. And Debbie is still going through her thing. And let me tell you, she gets approached by, somebody that's trying to help her out, get her to like a AAA group where there are other people that have like loved ones that might have been heroes, maybe villains, not sure, and they died. And because she is still, as comicbook.com is saying, or comic book resource, she's still raw about Nolan's betrayal. All right. And Mark is on his way to college. He gets accepted. Sooner or later, it's going to be an empty nest, and she's by herself. So going through all these emotions, it's got to be tough on Debbie. All right. Oh yeah, this was a funny scene. So we know that Rexplode cheated on Eve with Kate. And Eve found out when they was, in the shower. So role reversal. Rexplode is going to take a shower. He hears Kate moaning, but kind of find out she's in there with a couple of herselves. And everybody's having a good time with the immortal. So he's trying to figure out like yo, what's going on, what happened, and she just breaks it down to him. He has died just as much as me, so he can actually understand me. You were just a thing, and you're a jackass. He couldn't say nothing. Like, let me just go in the corner and pout to myself, which is what he did. He does that, all right. But funny scene, role reversal. The immortal is also whipping them into shape. They don't like his tactics because he's a bit, rough around the edges, but that's the immortal. He was Abraham Lincoln, folks. The man was the president of the United States at some point, all right, in the past, but he did it. I believe in the same episode, another mission was given to him by Cecil. So Mark has to go into, I guess, this universe's Gotham City. I believe it's called Midnight City, I want to say. Or is it called, let me make sure. They don't say it here, but we'll call it Midnight City. All right. But the city was cursed to stay in darkness. And it's like a dome over this city or this town, and it always stays dark there. And because of that, criminals run wild. So as Mark is like flying through the city, we see a picture of the two dudes that Darkwing, remember they tied them up in the first episode, like, yo, the cops is coming for you. And their bodies is still there, but now they're all skeleton because, of course, Darkwing was smashed to bits by Omni-Man. And honestly, what made him think that he was going to sneak attack Omni-Man by himself? But I digress. All right. But apparently there's a new Darkwing in the city, but he's more vicious. He kills people. And we know that Darkwing was a ripoff of a Batman. It's cool. He's got the gadgets, but this Darkwing was the sidekick of Darkwing. And him and Mark have a little back and forth. It's like, yo, put some respect on my name. I'm the new Darkwing. They fight, and he actually feels the punches by Darkwing. He's like, yo, I feel that. I'm not hurt, but I can feel it. And it's because this Darkwing has a power to where he's able to tap into this other realm of darkness where there's monsters or something is lurking in the dark, right? We can't see it, but we can hear it. So he grabs Mark, puts him in the darkness, and Mark's like, huh, how can I get up out of here? So somehow, some way, he catches Darkwing. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna let go until you let us out. But this creature, he hears it. And Darkwing is like shitting in his pants, like, yo, let me go, fam. Like this thing is gonna get us. Mark is saying, well, I doubt it will hurt me, but you, eh, not so much, right? So eventually, Darkwing lets him out. He gets busted, punched in the face, knocked out, and sooner or later he's gonna go to jail. All right, boom. So that was it. A cool little, side mission in this episode. I liked it, because again, I know where that character is going. I like how Invincible adds in these, all these other characters in throughout the entire show. Some of them have a difference, will make a difference. Some of them don't. That is there as like background fodder. One thing also I forgot to mention from the first episode, Donald was back. Now y'all remember Donald was the one that got his spine crushed by Omni-Man before he hit that button and made the house explode. And Debbie sees him, and Debbie's like, "How is Donald here? Like, Donald here?" And Caesar, he plays it off. And again, this episode, I believe, Debbie sees him again, and he's like, "Yo, didn't he die?" And she looks dead, dead into his in Donald's face, like, "Yo, how are you here?" And Donald's like, "I always been here." And Cecil just rushes her off, like, "All right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And later on, Donald comes back and says, "Hey, Debbie is acting as if this is like her first time seeing me. Like, what's going on?" And he said, "Oh, she's grieving." Pretty much gaslighting him. You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, it's right now. She's going through a lot right now." So he's questioning what's going on here. All right. Another thing that happens in this episode is, Adam Eve is coming back home, and Pops lost his job because of what happened in the city when Omni-Man tore shit up. She makes him go at Apple like, "Yo, Pops, Mom, sell this." Mom's like, "Yo, don't let him come around to see this because he's gonna flip out," what she does. And the reason why he's mad because earlier in this episode, Eve is trying to help out with the destruction of the city, probably Chicago or somewhere akin to that, right? And the construction people, they're taking the time to fix this apartment building. She swoops in like, "Yo, I want to help." Just saying, "Nah, shawty, can't help. We don't even know what you can do. We be up to code." And she's like, "Fuck it." And she helps out the people in a ways they praise her. They praise her like, "Yo, thank you for helping us out. Now we can go back in the home, and we wish more people like you can help." And then she fixes up like a park next to it. All right, but this scene, Pops is mad because he's like, "Yo, stop using your powers because what you did at that apartment complex, half of the house still fell down, and that park that you made for the people, it crumbled because it wasn't up to code." Construction people know their job. Let them do what they do. It may take some time. They might need to hire more people, but they know what they're doing. And she's questioning like her acts of being helpful. Like, she can make anything. Yeah, she can, create things on that from an anatomic level, but it doesn't always work for that particular situation. So that goes away. But yeah, Pops is like, "Yo, just be normal." You know what I'm saying? Just be normal. And he's being real jackass about it. And Mom's is being really passive, not really sticking up for her daughter, adopted daughter. You know what I'm saying? So Eve flies out, boom, he's gone. All right. Then we have the Lizard League jumps in and he calls the Guardians to take care of them. They jump to the scene, they fight, whatever. In this version or in this series, they're more of a B-list group. All right. They come in, they fight, and this is when Russ the alien, pops out like, "Yo, I'm Russ," and he gets snuffed. Pretty funny scene. And then the fight ensues, but they eventually beat the Lizard League, but more about that later. All right. Cecil calls Mark like, "Yo, you need to go down to Atlantis, talk to the people because the king up here died from Omni-Man. They need excuse me. Excuse me. But whoever kills their king becomes the new king. And because Omni-Man killed their king, but his son is still alive, Mark becomes the new king. So he goes down to Atlantis by boat. They give him a little guild thing to breathe out of, and he talks to the queen of Atlantis, right? And, he's trying to make his case like, "Yo, I'm sorry about what happened. I have a girlfriend. I can't really marry you, even though it's your cousin. I can't be your king because I got a girlfriend." And the queen's like, "Oh, I've been ruling this country or this kingdom by myself. I don't need you to be my man or my king." But having ruled Atlantis for over a decade, that's kind of savage. Like, how dare you think about, or how dare you assume this is what I needed? And he tells Cecil a lot like, "Yo, your info is outdated. These people don't have these type of this type of rule anymore. But instead, now there has to be a trial by combat between Mark and like a kraken-like monster under the sea. So this was one of the twists that came from the comic books. Because in the actual comic book, there was another fish guy, and he loved the queen, but of course he couldn't fight. He couldn't marry her. So him and Mark come up with a ploy, like, "Yo, let's fight each other." But Mark pretends that he loses to the guy, and he marries the queen, and then boom. But then this one is different. He fights this big monster under the sea. He does get his ass handed to him a couple of times, but there was a moment in his fight where the monster lets off a huge scream, and it hurts Mark more than once. And Cecil takes notes about that. But eventually, Mark beats up the monster. He won the trial by fight, and at that point, well, the monster escapes, and it started causing a lot of destruction. And in Atlantis, Cecil was saying like, "Yo, good for them. Time for you to go." But he's like, "Nah, if I want to help people, and if I help them, maybe they'll be cool." Which he does. He whoops ass, says today, Atlantis like, "I bet you good now. Get the fuck out." He leaves, right? All right. What's next? We know about Adam Eve. What went down with a project. Let me take a look here. Debbie is still, going through her shit. I mean, like, if anything, what I said about Mark from the first episode by him not, like standing in his grief, Debbie is. Like, Debbie is trying to, do her job as a real estater, and this dude gets real snappy at his wife. And she's saying like, "Yo, fam, she is not your pet. You need to calm down." To the point where her partner was saying like, "Yo, take the rest of the day off, right? Go some, make some wine." And it's not the same anymore. She's still going through it, and it's sad to see, because what other comic book shows or movies really deal with this side betrayal once more. It's horrible. Horrible to think that this is what happens when a big thing like this occurs, right? But again, Debbie is trying to find a way out of it. And pretty much that's it. This episode ends, and we go to like another mid credit or another end credit, and this time we see a version of Mark is somewhere in some underground jail, hoisted up, and Action comes in, talks to this other Mark Grayson about what happened to his war, how he get caught. And at that point, I guess the security comes in, but in this universe, see someone Donald or a woman. It's hilarious to even like see it in motion. I wish they had it up here, but and just say hey, do whatever you want with them, and leaves. Again, he's sprinkled here and there, just here and there, and he plays a bigger role. But again, I can't tell y'all gotta see it. All right, but overall, this episode was really it was slower parts. Some reviews were fun to see. The whole and also I forgot to the Lizard League. So once they got beat up, they go back to the lair, and the current boss of them is giving his speech like, yo, the Lizard League, this is, we lost the battle, but we'll win the war. And this crowd was like, yeah, well, we'll win it eventually. And he gets shot in the head point blank by the guy that was locked up from the first season, I want to say. And pretty much takes out the old boss. He's coming back in like, listen, the league will arise again, bigger and better, that type of thing. But it was cool to see that that flip happen in this show. All right. So now we're at episode 3, which came out this past Thursday on /Friday. And this one was a really, really good episode. Excuse me. Some people talk about the pacing of the show. I don't see it. I mean, it's whoa, what is this doing to me? What are you doing? Hold on, my bad, y'all. Sorry for the issues here. What's going on? But this episode just really took things in a different direction, but for a good reason. So we see Mark and his best friend. They're now in college. He hangs up a seance dog poster on his wall, which is supposed to be Doctor Strange. And his boy, is making fun of him, like, hey man, get rid of your toys. Mark is saying no, they're collectibles, and there's kind of like Toy Story. He throws them away. He keeps the one seance dog, and again, this a reason for this. It comes back later on in the episode, so peep game. All right, so his friend tells Mark, yo, there's a sock on the door. That means I'm not in business. Go do something. Go fly to India or something, but get out of here, right? So as Mark comes back from the trash can, he sees a sock on the door. He's like, damn, there's already a sock on the door? My boy getting busy. So he goes to Amber. They talk, and one thing leads to another, and they get down to doing the naughty business. All right. And then we hear like before I get there, she talks to him like, so do you have super sperm? Or if you get too excited when you're on top, will you crush me? Matter of fact, let me get on top. So, we can do things right. So, as they're about to do the 1-2, we hear a narrator like, well, okay, well, all right. So as these two get better acquainted, let's go somewhere else. Let's talk about Alan the alien. And let me tell you, man, his story is so fun to watch. We learn more about his people, how he came to be. He wasn't born, in a sense. He was created in a lab because the Viltrumites, came down, wrecked his home, and to the point where now they have to his people got to do like breeding camps to breed the best of the Utopians, or Utopians, if I'm saying that right. And there's so many different clones that don't really fit their criteria until he came in. He's like a buff baby, but they like bust out of the tube, kind of like Broly from Dragon Ball Z, kind of like that, right? But they raised him, trained him to take down the Viltrumites, but of course he gets his ass handed to him. So he becomes, similar of a police officer, his current role now, to kind of like let other planets know, like, yo, watch out for the Viltrumites. This is what they look like. And, talks about a whole mix up with Earth and Urath. And, after that goes down, he comes back to Telskera, I want to say. And then we meet Thaddeus. Thaddeus is the head honcho of the planets of coalition. And the planets of coalition, or a group of, the heads of each planet, they're a group together to kind of like pool their resources to help each other out from the attacks by the Viltrumites. All right. But Thaddeus thinks that there's a mole, because every time somebody new gets added, their planet gets hit. So he tells Alan about this, like, yo, I want you to be my guy on the inside to figure out who's this mole. Like, we need more help, but until we can find out this mole, I want you to like help me out. So I bet, man, I got you. Let me go home and chill out. He goes home, sees his lady. His lady, also works with him. She's like a commanding officer. And, they meet each other. He's been gone for a long time. And, they go at it in the bedroom. And the narrator once more is like, all right, well, while they also get acquainted, let's go back to our main protagonist, Invincible. And as we go back to Mark and Amber, they still bumping. And he's like, all right, well, let me go back to Alan again, right? So boom, back to Alan, the alien. And he's telling his girl, like, yo, tells her about the whole Omni-Man invading Earth, and how it's so odd and weird that this Viltrumite left his post. And on top of that, he bred with an Earth woman. And Viltrumites don't do that because they believe in racial purity. But this particular Viltrumite did it. And the plans of coalition, they're saying, like, how can we trust the source of information? How can we trust this Mark character? He's a Viltrumite. But Thaddeus and Alan is like, yo, but he stood up to his father. How many stories have you ever heard about this? Like, this does not have. This is big news, right? So they're talking about that. They end up going somewhere to eat some wild food. Like, there's this funny scene where his girl is eating these green things or whatever, but the bowl is like an actual creature, and it's eating Alan's food, which is like little slugs, but faces on them. And as she's eating the stuff from the bowl, he's eating them, the monsters, whatever. It's funny, dope scene. But out of nowhere, he goes there's like a crash that goes through the actual restaurant which they're at, and the vacuum of space, because it's in the vacuum of space. People are about to fly out, but the restaurant self-repairs itself, and then we see Alan confronted by 3 Viltrumites. One with a chick with a blade at the end of her hair, a black dude with a dad belly, and and another Viltrumite, right? So they're trying to figure out like, yo, tell us more about this Viltrumite that left his post. Like, where is he? And he looks back at the diner, like, man, I ain't giving y'all shit. I ain't telling y'all nothing. All right, not a thing. And they try to have him, speak about what's going on so he can have a quick death. He's like, nah, eat one. And they commence to brutally hurt this man. Like, hurt is not even the right word I want to use. They assaulted this man. And it was, whew, let me tell y'all, man, they beat up Allen so bad. At one point, they're just hitting him back and forth. They hit him so hard in his face, his eyeball popped, like his one eyeball popped out, but it's still attached. The vein, I guess, is still attached to his head. And then they chop off his arm, and then they punch him in the gut, pull his guts out, and then they just bounce. So he's just out in the middle of space, like near death. I don't understand how he died. He did not die. And we see him back with Thaddeus. He's healing up slowly, but we see Thaddeus coming in, turning off his life support, and he says, "I'm sorry, friend," and that's it. So we don't know what's going to happen. I do. I think I do, but we don't know. Like what's going on. I thought this is this man trying to find out who's the Mo. And also, how did the Viltrumites know about what happened so quickly? See what I'm saying? There is a Mo inside the plans of coalition. So we'll find out more about that. Now, Mark comes back to his hotel room. His boy's like, yo, I forgot to take out my sock, my bad, but you look new. You got laid, didn't you? Tell me all about it, right? And then as they're about to talk about it, in comes in Seance Dog. Mark's probably first hero as a kid growing up. And it's just right outside their window. Like, no, my bad. He comes to the door. And, of course, they're freaking out. Mark is like, yo, who is you? Bump that. You better top before I put his paws on you. Right. So a little fight ensues there. He throws him out the college window, go to some trees, whatever. And right before he gives this character to beat that, well, all right, man, listen, I'm not really Seance Dog, but I had to be in a disguise of somebody that you recognize. Let me show you who I'm really am. And turns out to be it's like a cricket looking alien. Like, yo, I came down to see you because we heard about you, and we know that you save people, and my people is about to be extinct from some meteor showers, and we need your help. You are the only one that can do this. Can you please help us out? The whole time Cecil is listening. He's saying, no, do not go, because we don't trust these people. They can kill you. Mark is saying, well, if they wanted to kill me, they could have done it by now, but they didn't. And I want to help people. Cecil is trying to say, kid, you work for me. You do what I tell you. You go where I tell you. And Mark is like, nah, fam. If I'm going to help people, I'm going to help them. So he jumps in the alien spaceship. They go to the planet. And as he goes to the planet, and they land and they meet his people. But, nobody is panicking. Nobody is like, yo, what's going on? And then he's like, yo, so what about the meteor shower? Who's like, what meteor shower? Like, what you told me? Why I got to come in? Who was like, oh, I forgot about that. It's dementia. And it's funny that that an alien knows about dementia, right? But again, it's comic books. All right. Like, yo, so let's talk about it more with our king. Come this way. So they're walking down this long pathway, and they see some other people like up on this high pedestal from some stairs. Mark Buckner said, "Hey, King, how are you? I'm invincible." And the three mantis-looking aliens uh, break apart and bow their heads, and out comes the king from the edge of the screen, and all you hear is, "Hello, son. Nice to meet you." And lo and behold, it's Omni Man, and all you hear from Mark is, "Dad, Dad." End scene, go black. So no end credits. We now have Omni Man taking place on this planet the whole entire time. And now Mark is there, meeting his dad for the first time since his dad beat the shit out of him. And then, episode 4, we're going to figure out what happens. All right. But that's it. Those were the 3 episodes. Quick recap. Sorry, it took damn near an hour for this to happen. But yeah, my predictions for episode 4, I don't want to tell y'all because I know what's going to happen. And I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil this for y'all. But I will implore y'all to watch the episodes if you haven't seen any. I know I kind of did, a rush job of explaining the actual episodes, but just some other more main points. But I still have to see it to believe it. I hope y'all do. But if you do, come back to this channel, leave the comments. Once again, I'm G the Bearded One. Thank y'all again for this quick recap of the episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Invincible. I'll be back next Friday or Sunday, excuse me, to talk about the 4th episode before the break. And yeah, we'll see what big twists or turns will happen, and then we'll grade the entire 4-part series as one whole with Arya when it comes back. So again, man, want to thank y'all, and I'll see y'all again soon. And please make sure to like and subscribe as well. Thank y'all. G the Bearded One. Eat salad. Peace.